Too, but when you shoot 2 for 29 from three-point range, it's going to be hard to win in any league. What did you see with the three-point shooting?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly 2 for 29 is, and I think even if you look at our starters, whatever they were, 1 for whatever it was, so it's a total outlier game in terms of that kind of shooting, especially from these guys over, whatever it is, close to 60 games now. But the other thing, too, is, and I'm hoping that we can really learn from a lot of this, is it wasn't like we were down by 25 because of it, right? And, I thought that the loose balls, the offensive rebounds, the hustle plays, the transition, we still had opportunities to overcome it, and I've always talked about the things that we can control. And I did think, to a certain extent, the frustration got in a little bit. I thought it was a very, very physical game on both sides. And, when you're not shooting the ball particularly well, or things are not going your way when you're shooting the ball, you have to manufacture other things, to try to offset that. And your margin for error really, really shrinks. So when you give up an offensive rebound, you don't get back in transition, lack of communication or those kind of things, that's when it becomes hard to overcome it, because even with all the way we shot the ball throughout the course of the game, midway through whatever it was a 4 or 5 point game. Like, it wasn't like we were playing from, down 20, and you could have been. But obviously there was a lot of things that they did well, we did well to stay in the game. But when you shoot the ball like that, you have to do a lot of other things to offset it.
Was that your message to the team, and what was the mood like in the post-game locker room?
Well, I think they're disappointed. I mean, that was just basically, we got to play again tomorrow. I mean, that was basically my message, is that, those, I've always talked about this, is that, the majority of the time the game's not played with the ball in your hands. And I understand that, you want to put the ball in the basket, the team that scores the most points wins, so I get that. But when you're not shooting the ball well, you can't be, you got to be able to find some other ways, and we're not going to always be perfect. It doesn't mean that we don't need to ever turn the ball over, or we're not going to get up an offensive rebound, but I think there was too many things compounded. Some of the fouling, some of the offensive rebounding, some of the transition, like those things, you shave off points there, you find a way to offset that, and that's why I'm saying I hope it's learning, for us, in the fact that, we had some things like Javon made a great defensive play, and he's, got a layup and he misses it, and he goes up for the rebound and he loses it. There was a couple of like crazy plays that happened where, we kind of got the ball, lost it, they laid it in. Like, there was just different things that happened in the game that didn't go our way. And, those things happen, right? But there's other things that we needed to be better at.
Billy, Kobe shot the ball pretty well from 3 the game before last, but overall, coming out of this All-Star break, he's really struggled from deep. Are we seeing kind of the effects of his change in role, change in usage with the injuries that have hit this team?
Well, I think that this is, for me, another opportunity for him to take on another step, in his career. What I mean by that is, when our team was whole, he may have been a guy that was 4th or 5th on the scouting report. Now he's elevated to 1, and he's getting everybody's best defender and different coverages and things like that. And this is part, I think, of his maturation and growth, because he hasn't maybe a lot of times been in those situations. I've said this to you guys. I've tried to maybe not play him as many consecutive minutes and tried to run him in and out, but obviously his minutes do creep up. He's working hard on both ends of the floor, but this is another growth opportunity for him, in terms of trying to figure, those things out. And he's done a great job this year, and he's played well. He didn't have a great shooting night tonight, but I think there's other ways that he can maybe try to manipulate the game, on both ends of the floor.
I saw Crusoe came back in, but then he went out again quickly. What's his circumstances, and did you take him out toward the end because he wouldn't look
I didn't
right?
like the way he was moving, and I just took him off. I mean, he didn't ask to come out. I think he would have preferred to stay in, but I just did not like the way he was running, and it was my decision to take him off. He was cleared to come back in. It was his knee. I don't know the extent of it, but obviously he was cleared to come back. I'll find out more, but I just didn't like the way he was running.
I know you don't usually know at this time. You said knee. It looked like an ankle, and then it said hamstring, and it's a knee. You don't know which one.
Someone on the bench, and it was not a medical guy, said it was his knee. Bumped knees or banged knees. So that's all I got. I did not get that from medical. That was someone on the bench said that. So I don't know if Alex said or how they got that.
You know, I know the shooting sort of sticks out, obviously, but you guys had like 25 more shots. You got like 25 points. I mean, you did a lot of stuff that could have, enabled you to win the game. Normally when you have that, you would win a game.
Right.
So,
No, I think to your point, exactly right. Like we did those things. There was a lot of things we tried to do. Like Andre was really good on the glass. I thought we come up with some, like our guys really competed and played hard, right? But there was just like those plays that you had to have in a game like that where the margins were so small. And again, I thought our guys competed. I thought they played hard. It was a struggle kind of game. I thought for both teams to score. It was a physical game. Baskets didn't come easy. I'll look tomorrow or tonight to find out what the easy basket situation was. But yeah, I thought our guys competed, but there was just a few plays where, transition, hurt us. I thought some second chance opportunities, hurt us. They made some timely threes. We had some opportunities we didn't make. So, again, it was. I think our guys really, really competed. But I think the really, really understanding, like, in almost embracing the difficulty and the struggle, and I can understand as hard as these guys work and the time and energy they put in, they have an expectation about the way, they want to perform. And like I said, this is an outlier game for us shooting the basketball, but it happens sometimes. And, you got to try to find some different ways. And, but again, I did think our guys tried to generate and manufacture, as you mentioned, more opportunities at the basket.